Welcome to Stay Winning. We are in the building. Another great episode. We got a special one today. But before we get down to what we about to get down on, I need you to hit that like button. Tell your grandmama, I know she don't got Instagram or YouTube, but tell her anyway. Like and subscribe. Follow us. We in the building. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Don't play no games.
There's some grandmothers on IG.
Hey, you know what it is. About 55. 55-year-old grandmamas. They was twerking.
Hey, man. I don't know what's up with your search history, bro. I'm just on there for the sports.
What's going on with your grandma, man?
I'm looking at the athletes. Okay.
You know the athletes twerking. Angel be twerking, man. She on the cereal box, still twerking. My man.
Stop your fibbing.
Hey, this is Talib. I'm always about that.
Your co-host Curtis. Want to introduce y'all to Aysia. You want to take it from here?
My name is Aysia Foster, and I go to Southern Virginia University, and I am a junior.
I am Malcolm Foster. I also go to Southern Virginia University, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Maya Foster. I also go to Southern Virginia University, and I'm a freshman as well, if you couldn't tell.
Let's go Knights.
We got the Fosters.
Go Knights. Yes.
Building, man.
Yeah, we got twins. Just showed up on the team. You get to play with your big sister. What's that like?
It's really nice. We don't fight as much as we used to, so it's been nice. We've matured a little bit, but it's been really fun to have a role model on the team and be able to look up to her own ways and be able to just have fun with my sister for another year.
I like how you said that, like look up to her own ways. So I want to ask Aysia this question. So Aysia, what's something that Maya does in practice or in games or whatever that you really admire?
Honestly, how you kind of take over on scout. Maya's usually on scout team. If she's not, she's helping us with defense a lot, and she does a really good job at kind of bringing her all to really help challenge us when we're practicing against to prepare for other teams.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that. And she also always gives good input and good energy, which is very admirable. So I really enjoy that.
Has she helped you lift your game?
Yeah, I could
with
say
the preparation?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's always really she's going to try her hardest when she's on that scout team and really call us out and expose us to our weaknesses.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's what helps us get further. Because how else are we gonna get better if we don't have those exposed?
That's right. That's right.
So let me ask, the two freshmen, right? Coming from a high school level and coming into college, what was the biggest adjustment from the game? How did the game change from playing in high school to now playing against college athletes? For both of y'all, answer that question.
That's a good question. I feel like the biggest thing for me that was the biggest change was definitely the speed of the game, because going into college from high school, high school it's not as organized, I feel like, as college, because in college you have like 1 or 2 plays, 3 plays. In high school, excuse me. Then in college you have like 20 plays, out of bounds plays, different kind of plays to get players open. And so I feel like the organized aspect and the speed aspect, I feel like is definitely the biggest change.
Nice.
And outside of just the players being more athletic, stronger, faster, taller, I feel like the organizer aspect and the speed is definitely the biggest change.
Nice. What about you?
I think that not only I agree with that, I think also with just everybody's good in college. Like you might have a couple players that just are still working, but most of everybody's good. You're not going to get the spot immediately, so you have to work hard, and it's different in high school. Well, not everybody, you may just start immediately, but you have to put in that work so you can get minutes and be able to run with the team and to play with the team and just be there on defense and on offense.
Right.
Yeah.
So you being in your junior year, right, and you having some years underneath your belt, how has your game matured each year playing on the college level?
Honestly, I feel like it's changed so much. Like I always will go back to my freshman year, and it's like not that I was timid, because I always felt like I was always aggressive, but my composure and my aggressiveness was put into the right things to help me be able to
reach my goals and stuff like that. Also, like, I didn't go into college like expecting expecting to play a lot of minutes, but just expecting to have the heart I had for it as what I do now. I really worked on my love for the game as well, which makes the biggest difference. Like, I never thought I could be as emotionally attached to the sport as I am now, because I know what I put in to make myself where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's really nice to kind of, because like, of course, when you have people around you who are coaching you and are like pushing you these things, it's different than you pushing yourself. And I had to push myself in order to be where I'm at.
Nice.
If I didn't do that, then I wouldn't have gotten the rewards from that. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So I think that's probably the biggest thing.
So what does that look like? Because I have to ask this question because I'm a fan of the sport. You know, I've loved the sport since I learned about it. You know, first was introduced to basketball. I'm like, oh, this is it. But it sounds like you love the sport, but that grew even more when you got to college. So when that happened, like, how did you know that you had a greater appreciation for the sport? Like, how did that show up in your life?
I feel like at first it always was my teammates, because they would always be pushing me and just being not a great sport, I don't say like that, but like they were just great friends to help push me in where I needed to be, and also call me out on things I needed to be called out on. But not only that, but they showed me how to love the game from their own love for the game. And I think in college especially, like my freshman year, I had a really hard time emotionally with it, and I think I started growing it because I saw a little bit of that potential, you know.
Yeah.
But then I started to actually, like, I talked to my coaches, I talked to my trainer, like how can I actually be where I need to be to get to where I want to be at, right? And then after that, I had to put in the work for it. And it didn't take till, it was like not that I didn't put in the work before, but I didn't care as much until after my sophomore year. And that's where it really started to take off for me. And that's because, like, I started doing all the little things I didn't know how to do before, if that makes sense. It really,
Give us some ideas.
like, for example, like really pushing yourself in the weight room. Like, I feel like it's very easy to be complacent because you're lifting all the time and you're kind of just always in it. So it's just like you want to kind of take that break sometimes, because being a college athlete is very exhausting and very hard. And so sometimes it, like, when you have to push yourself in the weight room or in practice, like, you're not going to want to go as hard, so you can actually have to do the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I had to really fight myself to not do that. And so for me, I kind of made it like a point to go up in weight or go up in the next hardest thing every week or every 2 weeks if I couldn't do it that 1 week. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, because I know what it felt like when you hit me in the chest and got yourself open for 37 points on me or something like that. but it's refreshing to hear a young player talk about the love of the game in the weight room.
Yeah.
Because I remember listening to Tyrese Halliburton, an elite NBA point guard, talk about how he hates the weight room and avoids it. And to me, that's why Jalen Brunson be pushing him around, and you got to put somebody else on.
Like being in the weight room for me changed my game, like, completely. Like, I've always been like a strong player because I know how to move my body in a certain way to get players off me.
Yeah.
But it's different when you're solid and can still be agile. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I do throw on my body a lot in the way that's not the best, because it's like I'm kind of wild. But actually having that solidness and composure, I guess, you would actually do what you need to do, it really changes the game, at least for me as a post player.
You set those sneaky screens like Talib?
All the time.
Yes.
Yeah, come on. Sit up, girl. Sit up. Okay? When you hit a girl, you go.
I don't like that.
You're not going to go, they ain't doing it right.
I say. You're gonna see it. Okay. So look, right?
Okay, lamb chop, keep it going.
Okay. So listen, right? You guys are freshmen. This year was a major learning curve for you. What is going to be the skills that you're going to hone in this off season to get yourselves ready to contribute on the level next year as a sophomore? What are those skills that you know I gotta get better here to master my game, to make an impact for my team next year? What are those skills for both of y'all?
The skills for me, my coach actually in our meeting on postseason actually highlighted on these skills that I already knew I needed to work on. One thing is definitely my handle, because I definitely have to learn to be a point guard, to be able to facilitate and distribute the ball. and I do need to work on getting my shot more consistent. And because there was days that my shot would be going in, but then those days that would go like 1 for 5 or something like that. So I have to be able to be consistent and efficient when it comes to my shot.
Nice.
And also just continue getting stronger because there was a lot of players in our conference who we lost to just because they're more athletic.
Yeah.
And so definitely my athleticism and my strength is definitely a big thing I need to work on. And outside my handle, I do need to learn how to be a point guard because my whole life I wasn't really a point guard. I was more of a 2 and a 3. And in high school, I was sometimes a 4 because of my athleticism. I used to get rebounds over people. So it was a lot of fun though. But so yeah, I have to learn to be a point guard and to be able to distribute. And I have people that I'm working with this offseason that I'm going to do to work on that.
Nice. What about you?
I think my skill that I need to work on is first my shot. I feel like it's not very consistent. I need to be able to work on that, especially at the level that we play at.
Yeah.
Well, with our team, we have a bunch of shooters, so I'm able to just fit into that. I need to get my shot better. And also just like a 1 dribble pull up. There's some basic like go-to moves to have.
Yeah.
And then I would say also just to get in the weight room, get stronger, so I'm able to compete with the players in our level. Just so I'm able to not get moved around as much, and especially on defense, just being able to just stay with the player, just be able to move side to side, because I would say I'm like a defender.
Yeah.
And then on offense with that, just being able to drive in the paint and not like lose the ball because people are hitting my arms.
Yeah.
So I would say those 3 are probably the things I need to work on the most.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned something that segued right into your sister having an outstanding award this season. And that award was you won the Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And congratulations on that. First of all,
Yeah.
that's huge, right? Now, what is your inspiration? What are you thinking on the defensive end when you're playing up against, whoever you're playing up against? What's your mindset defensively?
This does not let them score on me mostly, but if I'm being honest, like this took like me being at that point took a lot of work in this summer as well, because like I said earlier, like being in the weight room is really important, and I'm going up, and like I'm tall, sure, but a lot of girls in our conference are bigger than me, and so I have to be able to hold my own on them because. Like, yes, I'm taller, yes, I'm faster, but that doesn't mean that they won't try to bully me in the paint.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so so when it came to actual season time and very peak moments of the season, like focusing on scout was very, very important for me, and focusing on how I can actually defend them and exploit their weaknesses. Because if I didn't do that, they're just gonna do whatever they want on me, and that's not what I need to do to win games.
Yeah.
And it's just like. It's literally just like kind of like studying that. Cause it's just like, okay, I could be good on offense, but if I can't stop the other team, then what's the whole entire point?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm always gonna be I'm one of our starting posts, so I have to be the guard their starting post, who's probably gonna score a lot. Like I'm not the craziest highest scorer on offense for my team as a post, but on defense, trust and believe they're not gonna do nothing on me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna let that happen. Because if I let that happen, then we're losing, and that's on me. You know what I mean? Like that's part of my role, what I need to do for the team. So I have to make sure I'm studying scout and doing those things to actually play within my role.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big award, and let's get it next year too. How about that?
Yeah,
that's
the goal.
Absolutely.
That'd
So-
be a heck of a senior year.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I hear from each of you, right, is that there are levels to this, right? And me being a casual fan, it's like, yeah, I'm good, but there's levels to this, right? Because when we was growing up, we'll see a guy that played on the playground, and we're like, man, that guy should be in the league. No.
we realized that guy should be on the playground.
Later, right on the playground, right? So, at the level you guys play at, does it give you more of appreciation for seeing someone like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Juju Watkins, and how good they are compared to, you play at this level, they're on this level on the national stage. how much work it took for them to get there. Do you guys see yourselves not only getting to that level, but being able to compete at that high level where you guys are right now? And what would it take?
Honestly, like, I think one of the things I didn't realize I took for granted a lot when I was younger, but the fundamentals are why they're at what they're at. And our coaches honed that on us and hammered on us a lot about how important that is. Like, literally, like, honestly, I think one of the reasons why I got so many rebounds this past season and compared to my other seasons was literally because as post players, we were focusing on keeping our elbows up and the ball high. Like, it's something as simple as that. And you would never think that, right?
Yeah.
But, like, we had our assistant coaches this past year also played on the men's team. He's like 6'4", very strong player, was one of the best on the team, right? Like literally him beating us with like, you know, like a, not a cone, but those little,
You heard it here first. Expose. We're about to get to the bottom of this. Coaches beating athletes. Keep going.
No.
No.
With the defensive pad. That's what it's called. Because, you know, making sure that we keep our elbows up because that's important. Like, these girls are not gonna.
That's what it was.
Back in our day, that's what it was.
No, but like, you know, it's just like I feel like that really helped to keep us being strong.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if you're soft in our league, you're gonna get beat.
Yeah.
And so we really have to. And that's the same thing with the players that are where they're at. It's because they work hard on those small things that they need to do within their role.
Right.
Kate Cart, she shoots the ball like crazy because she focuses on fundamentals.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then when you don't focus on fundamentals, like if you're in the lead, you're just not gonna look as good because you're not doing the things you're not supposed to do.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And same with us. That's why people lose games because they're not doing the fundamentals.
I have a question for each of you, if you don't mind answering this. I want to know how each of you push the other two to be better.
I'll take this one. Well, I'm gonna start by saying this. Growing up, it definitely wasn't easy because I was always responsible in my family before I had a growth spurt.
You was
And
a little twin?
I was a little twin
He
for the
was half
longest
the size
time.
of mine.
I was half the size. Yeah, I was about.
I'm
He's bigger than us now. We can't really.
Let's say I was about 5'6" my freshman year of high school. Let's say that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was 5'6",
I was about 5'6"
and
freshman
I
year
was
of high school.
my height. I'm 6'6".
Yeah. So.
Wow.
So it was tough. But I feel like growing up, well, when I was a kid, I always thought of I was kind of living in my Asian Maya shadow a little bit.
Yeah.
When it came to basketball, because people would talk to my dad about basketball. He'd be like, "Oh, you Asian Maya play, right?" And I'm like, "I play too." Like, come on now. So I feel like through those experiences, I really had to motivate myself and like push myself to like, okay, I'm not gonna stay here and be in a shadow. I'm gonna go out there and make a name for myself. I'm gonna go out there and say, hey, I can go out there and ball too. I can be at this level too. And so, and then and I know that Asia's really, really physical when it comes to everything that's basketball related. So definitely having well. When I would ask Asian Maya to play one-on-one, they'd be like, I'll probably get hurt against you.
Well, now.
Now, yes, definitely.
But back then.
Back then, probably not, because they probably
You
scored
would get
me.
beat,
I would get
yeah.
beat because I was so small. So, but I feel like definitely that's the way I pushed myself, was just seeing Asian Maya do well and saying, okay, I want to do well too. So I feel like that's a big thing that pushed me.
Yeah,
to say that.
I think, well, they both push me just to be like the best player that I can, but I say that I push them in ways like, I'm not sure. We're just very competitive as just like the siblings, like rivalry. So especially as twins, like, we're always trying to beat each other at something, or like if we're playing a shooting game,
There was a competition.
it's always just the tensions there. So I think I push them in those ways, just
Yeah.
like the little competitive
It
things.
sounds like you're saying by being better than them.
Oh,
That's how you
yeah.
push them? Well, she's saying y'all competitive, so I'm saying like.
I don't know about all that. See, no matter what we tell you, we each gonna have to answer that question.
They push
Okay.
me in those ways too.
Yeah.
Just so I can like Malcolm's a great shooter, So he pushes me to get my shot right and be able to shoot. And Asia's a good rebounder and post player, so she's able to push me so I can get my post moves going too sometimes, and getting those rebounds as well on both offense and defense stuff.
Honestly, like I have a very similar answer, just because but in just different ways. I feel like me and Malcolm, like we don't match in strength as much as we used to. Like before, we both started getting in the weight room a lot, just because we obviously you started getting into it more than I did. Until
Actually, you started first.
I started first, but then you were more consistent than I was for the longer period, and then I started getting really into it, and that's when I started to
meal plans and everything. She was like, I'm ready. I am ready. Snapchat, 95 grams of protein each day. You know what I'm saying?
I'm scheduling. You see my amount of protein I take.
You see it.
My pump videos. Like it's gonna.
That's what she said.
I'm just saying it out there. I was like, but no, because like I was gonna say like Malcolm pushes me because he is physically stronger than me, and I am also the older sister. I don't like to be pushed around, and I don't want you to think that I can be pushed around. So of course I'm gonna go push up on him too. But that's the same mentality I need to have, and also in my game, because there's gonna be girls who want to push me around too.
Yeah.
And so because he's a guy and just has been working out a lot longer than me in the weight room specifically. Like, he is stronger than me in that way. So if I can hold my own, then I'm going to do just fine in my league.
I am taller than you now.
That doesn't matter.
You ever guard each other? You ever hit him in his chest like you hit me? Okay. As long as he's getting some of that abuse.
He might have had more abuse.
Good.
And then
I had the bruises for the food.
But I was gonna say with Maya, she's a really fast, taller player, and so like I'm not gonna say I'm the slowest now, but it's like I've had to work on being a lot faster. But growing up, I was definitely one of the slowest of all three of us, and so having to know what it's like to go against someone with a lot better speed than me really helped me get better, in a lot of ways. And I feel like that's made a difference for me now, especially because like our competitiveness in practice, trying to beat each other, going down and back. You know what I mean? Like we're able. I'm able to catch up now. Sometimes I can be a beater, but like still that competitiveness and trying to push each other to be fast and be able to move.
Yeah.
And she's also a great defender too. So it's just like having to go against each other and know how to do that is very important, I think.
That's nice. So you think that she can get a Defensive Player of the Year award soon?
Yeah, I think she's was all the way through and just was very diligent in the weight room as well, and she's got a lot better. I'm telling you, I've seen the growth from it. It just keeps staying on that path. I think she could do great because she's already a good defender.
I wonder how many siblings have ever done that. Like each win a Defensive Player of the Year.
That would be really cool.
That'd be a great story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would just show how just amazing she is in that way too, because she is a very good defensive player.
She is.
So,
how much are you guys paying attention to college basketball, men and women, and the NIL and what it's doing to the college game?
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't paying attention enough in the beginning because at first I thought it was like a hoax. I was like, there's no way this could be real. You know what I mean? Because especially as a D3 player, I'm not thinking that you can actually do anything from it or get anything from it because we're not getting as much publicity as other teams. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have D2, D1, they're gonna get the most, which is fine. I get it. They are they are where they're at.
Yeah.
That's fine. But because I'm D3, I'm just like, even though I work hard and I do all these things to get to where I'm at, we're still just D3, so I'm not thinking. But then I started to see how it has grown. I thought that was kind of insane. I really thought it was just a little thing that was just trying to say that we get money. You know what I mean?
Nah,
it actually does.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait a second. Maybe I should change my mind about this.
Some of these athletes would be crazy to go pro. That's how much money they're making.
Literally. So we all think.
Well, when I first saw NIL, I kind of same with Aysia. I kind of had no mind about it. But then I started seeing ads of all these people getting money from all these products like Gatorade, Powerade, all the other products. Like, for example, Juju Watkins doing all these other deals. Yeah. And then I saw another video of a football team getting trucks. I'm like, y'all getting trucks? Like, what? I was like, what's going on here? This was back in high school too. I was like, hey, what?
LeBron made that happen. See? He made that happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But when I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Imagine being at that level. But even as a D3 player, being at that level, it was there's a lot of perks that comes to that because of all the hard work you put in. Yeah. So I would say that.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of crazy to see because I have like a friend that's going to D1 and it's like, oh yeah, I have this one like NIL thing. I'm like, oh that's crazy. Like we don't get that stuff like that, and it's just kind of crazy to see because sometimes not even the players like was it Creighton maybe like the hype man just signed a bunch of NIL deals.
What?
So it's just like. It's kind of crazy how much money people can get from those, and just like how much publicity they get just from like being a hype man at like
That's
the
crazy.
tournament game.
Yeah.
You got a second calling.
You know it.
You got Talib. You got it. Call him up.
Hey,
You got it. You got it.
All right. So look, we getting down to business.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's time. Look, we ask the real questions around these parts. Okay. Who is the greatest basketball player of all time?
Is that what we?
I'm starting
Start
with
with
you.
you, Maya.
Hey, I would say MJ.
Who you talking about?
MJ.
MJ.
Unanimous. His vote don't count. He don't even always say nothing. Nah, what?
LeBron.
LeBron.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
LeBron.
Who's him?
LeBron.
So-
Hey, did y'all hear like Kendrick Perkins say he used to get J's for free when he was signed to Jordan?
Yeah.
But as soon as he went on TV and said LeBron is the GOAT, those Jordans stopped coming.
That's it.
Well, I wonder why.
Well, I'm saying, if you the GOAT, why you so insecure?
Same reason why LeBron is
loyalty.
secure.
It's about loyalty.
LeBron is secure.
Facts. Loyalty. That's what I'm talking about.
LeBron
Loyalty.
is secure. You
Loyalty.
know what I'm saying? He go on a Pat McAfee show. Not first take.
Not stay winning.
He ain't come to stay winning.
Why would he
He ain't
bring?
go to Gilbert Arenas.
Why would he
He ain't go to
bring?
Paul George.
Why would he bring his attention to the guy that he beefing with?
That's what I'm saying. It's all tricks and games.
No, it's not. It's all about the hairlines.
Ooh. He
Anyway,
ain't got a hairline. He ain't got a hairline.
that's what I'm saying. But LeBron's is better in the front,
Maybe.
worse in the back.
On the top. Got a little shine.
It's a little bit.
I got a question for all of y'all, right? Seeing how far the game has evolved, right? From a historical perspective, all right. MJ is in the 80s and the 90s. So you guys have some history as far as understanding history of the game.
In other words, they watched his videos on YouTube, on VCR tapes that their dad might have. A VCR tape. No, never mind. I'm not going to explain that.
We even got an 8-track. With the history of the game, can you give me one player, male or female, that you would want to pattern your game after from the 90s and the early 2000s? Not a current player in this generation era, but somebody from the
Someone from the grainy video times.
that. Who would that player be for each one of you guys?
I would say Maya Moore. Like, I
She
always
might be the
looked up to
greatest
Maya Moore.
female basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
Just like her
I
name.
agree with that.
Maya Moore.
I agree with
Okay,
that.
but she is.
Bucket getter.
She's
Bucket getter.
good. Yeah.
I love that pick. I
Yeah.
love that pick. Who you got?
Oh man, that's tough. You said early 2000s too?
Yeah, I mean, just somebody from back in the day, not this current era.
Grainy video.
I would say I'm about to go with the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
Kobe?
That's
Hey,
a,
that's a good pick. Yeah,
That's a great pick.
I'll go with Kobe.
Kobe is like that.
Yeah.
Kobe can do everything. He can shoot. He can dribble. He can pass. He can do everything. Athleticism. He can do everything.
Kobe.
I love his
I
game.
love Kobe.
You said pattern after. You want like what you watched.
Yeah, like who would you be for you? Yeah.
Yeah, like I think for me it was always AI and Candace Parker. Like I was always watching them to kind of like get an idea. And like right now it's Asia Wilson. So you know what I mean? Like the really great big players that
Yeah.
like, know how to, do what they need to do
Yeah.
on that court.
Yeah.
So I've always looked up to them.
That's crazy. That's a good name. Maya Moore. I love that name. In my opinion, when it comes down to women basketball, her name gets lost because she has such a short WNBA career.
Yeah.
But when you really look at the body of work she did in that small time, we talking multiple champion,
Yep.
MVP, like she was a
She was
problem.
a problem.
Man, I love
But
that.
here's the question: so GOAT conversation.
Yeah.
Maya Moore, how does she compare to Cynthia Cooper?
Wow. when I think about Coop, you talking about gritty, like going to get a bucket. I tell you what, if Maya missed, Cynthia just going bully ball like all game, man. Coop was a problem. Now, a lot of people
Coop was
know,
the best in her time.
right. A lot of people know Coop, Maya Moore, and they know the better of the Millers, right?
Yeah.
Because as great as Reggie was,
His sister.
everybody say Cheryl
Yeah.
was the better of the two Millers,
Yeah.
right? And I like, these are the kind of questions I like to ask when I talk to my younger crew. If you was to take those guys in that era and bring them with the evolution, the technology, the nutrition, and everything now, how would they fare in today's game?
Now, are you saying, so I just want to make sure I clearly understand, saying bringing them straight out of it, not growing into that, or like just placing them into it?
Meaning they grew the same way these players grew. So these players, one thing that happens in today's game, and I don't know why it happens, is these current players, in my opinion, don't acknowledge that they learned how to play from those guys. Those guys paved the way, right? So the things that you see in today's game, they've given them the freedom to be able to do what they're doing today. They wasn't allowed to do certain things because of the rules and certain things, but now these guys can now take what they saw and maximize it with their talents, their athletic ability, and so forth and so forth. So giving those old players the same timeline to learn those moves, to condition, to train, to eat right, and all that, how would those players fare in today's game?
The old school players would dominate so heavily, it'd be unfair.
Okay.
Because I'm just thinking like they were great for their time and they were like compressed, compared to how we have so much access to so many things now. And like from my perspective, because I'm just thinking like we grew up having trainers, having people work with us. That was them. You know what I mean? They had enough for themselves. They had to work to get to where they were. And I'm not saying that we didn't work, because obviously we have to work with those trainers and do those things. But like it's different when you have guidance, and guidance I think really can change so much because it takes a village to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you have that, you can become so much more than you possibly could have been.
Yeah.
And if they were like that kind of by themselves, then imagine if they had a whole village helping them pave the way. Especially you're talking about Kobe, he was not by himself, but that was his mentality that pushed him as far as he could have.
Yeah.
Well, he had some advantages. He had a father who played professionally. He lived overseas. He had family members sending him Michael Jordan tapes, VCR tapes, sending him tapes. He would watch those like crazy and mirror Michael Jordan's moves. So he had the drive, but he also had a dad that's like, I can show you how to get there.
That's why he was so dominant. You know what I mean? So it's just like that same thing.
Yeah, he was better prepared than others.
Yeah. So.
You hear about Cheryl. Cheryl ruled the neighborhood. It was like, she was the bully on the block.
If you allow Kobe, I'm going to do the same thing for Maya. If you allow Kobe to play like he played at the Rucker in today's game, do we get 100?
Ooh, do we get 100? Well, 100 is hard though.
He got 81.
I'm saying
he did get 81.
He got 81 against pros.
That is true. He did get 81. And 100 is, that's a Wilt's record right there, man. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
And I want to say yes, but it's yes and no.
Okay.
Because as good as Kobe was, there's also good players today.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he was for Kobe in this game, yes, he would kill. No question about it. But you still got players like Steph, LeBron, Giannis, all these great players are saying with some kind of mentality. They're like, oh, Kobe ain't getting no 100. Not on me.
Right.
I mean,
They would,
exactly. They would. Nobody would.
Maya Moore taking it personal. Caitlin Clark trying to shake her and shoot that bomb. She not having it or she having it? What we doing with Maya?
Now Maya's not having that.
Okay.
Like she's gonna strap down and nobody's gonna be able to guard Maya. Come on. So she's gonna be able to score whatever she wants.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
I like that. We kind of touched on like the evolution of the game. Because you think about it, players who played in the 80s and 90s are the parents of the players that are playing now.
Correct.
And if you loved the game enough that you was out in the streets ruling the neighborhood, playing every day, and then taking advantage of those opportunities to go and play at larger levels. Then when your kids come up and you see that they got a little spark for the game, you're going to get them everything. Especially if you earned a living doing it. What you need? Trainers, weights, what you need? I got you. And those kids are going to be better because they got all of the things you should have had when you was little, but you didn't have. You just had the streets. The street light, headlights on the car, something, and a hoop. Now your kids get to have a gym, trainers, all of those things, and they're going to be better. They're going to be more skilled, and that's what every parent will want.
Yeah, that's kind of how we grew up, especially with a dad that played college ball. That definitely helped us pave the way for, especially us, the three of us starting at a young age.
Oh, you say you better than your dad? Go ahead, tell me more.
Oh, what? I'm not saying all that. I mean, I'm not gonna call him out. I mean, my pops is a very good player, but maybe it might be out of his prime now. I would say that.
You know what?
I'm just kidding, Pops. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We got it on tape.
He in trouble.
I'm just kidding.
On the loop. Okay?
I'm just kidding, Pop.
But
Okay?
you know what?
I'm just kidding.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, and that's a question I would like for us to pivot into asking. With all three of you guys being college athletes, all right. So you have a wonderful structure of a mom and a dad. Dad's the athlete, played college ball. How important has it been to have that kind of stability for you guys to have the freedom to do the things that you do? Each of you can answer it accordingly.
I would say having that guidance has definitely helped a lot because the lessons that our dad has taught us are not even just about basketball, just about life in general. Because my dad wants us to achieve our dreams, to be the best provider and best family member for our future families. So basically, the biggest thing that education is one thing. He's taught us in the household that education is more important outside of basketball because basketball is not forever. I mean, who knows what the three of us will be doing after we're done playing basketball. We know what we're doing. So he wants us to have that foundation of, hey, you can do this, but I want you to prepare for this. Yeah. So having that foundation and that stability has definitely helped us, one, achieve our basketball dreams because of the lessons and the hard work because we love the sport, and also the commitment and the dedication to wanting to get a good education and so we can have a future outside of.
Nice.
I think he really did a great job at like showing us the importance of excellence and knowing what it's like to actually work for it. And like, cause I mean, some things for all three of us, some things can be easier than others, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna excel. You know what I mean? And I think having to learn what it's like to have that dedication and willingness from him, because he's worked hard his whole entire life to get to where he's at, and kind of seeing that, and then also trying to figure out how we can do that for ourselves with what we want, I think is very important, not only on the floor but outside as well. Like in the classroom, like that's really important to me, to be the best in the class, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or like even on the court as well, because of how much I was able to develop my love for the game and like to get to where I'm at now. Like if I'm not the best at what am I? And it's not that saying like you know, I'm not gonna play, but it's like for me personally, like that was my goal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's just like, and he taught us how to work for our goals and how we can do that. You know what I mean?
I think an important lesson he has taught us is to know who you are. And I feel like through basketball, through school, through everything, that's just an extremely important thing to just remember. Especially through basketball, you have to, the amount of training you have to do, like it can be exhausting, but you have to remember what you're doing it for and who you're doing it for. And in the school is the same way. So I think that's just an extremely important thing that you have to remember. And he knows what it takes to get to this level. So he has pushed us through that, and he's been able to keep us accountable and be able to push us to get to where we are. So I think just having that foundation has been really helpful for us.
So Maya, you were on the show before, and we talked a little bit about what your future plans are as far as your major and what you want to do. How has your dad influenced or played into your desire to become a doctor?
He has influenced it a lot. I've looked up to him since I was little, just like wanting to go to his practice and just seeing what he does. And even now when he asks me to go and help, it's just like, I'm really excited to go do those things and be able to just follow his footsteps into going to medical school and becoming a doctor. It's just he's been such a role model for me. To see his compassion, he's so passionate about what he does, and he just loves to help people. And I want to do that same thing. So I feel like he's just been such a great example to me. And just to want to be the best in the classroom, be able to get into medical school and to be able to excel in those aspects.
That's solid. That's solid. The thing that popped in my head about your dad is he's from Camden, New Jersey, right? Camden, New Jersey is also home of DeJuan Wagner and DeJuan Wagner Jr., both incredible basketball players. DeJuan Wagner scored 100 points in a high school game.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's impressive.
Talk about the things we talked about,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Yeah. That has nothing to do with the show, but it's
Absolutely.
fun fact.
Fun fact.
I'm a Snapple cap over here. What's up?
Nope, we're not gonna do it. So look, before we end the show, I want each of you to give me your top 5 favorite basketball players of all time.
And you can leave me off the list. It's you know, it's my show, whatever. But
Remember
don't
when you
worry
was talking
about
how I was bullying him?
Yeah.
I was talking about that.
it. That's true. That's true.
Top 5, he was not winning that day. Top 5 players of all time, male or female, don't matter.
Male, female.
Who's
How
your top
about a male roster and a female roster?
That's fine too. What you got? We're gonna start off with you. Come on now, doctor. Doctor.
She got 100.
We'll get there.
That's right.
Mine more looks nice.
There we go. We got it.
Asia Wilson,
Okay.
and then from men's too. We got Steph,
Mm.
KD. I've
All right.
loved too. Oh dang, it's hard to pick just 5. And then I've also liked Giannis.
Nice.
Mhm.
Alright.
I also.
Yeah. Go ahead. Who you got now?
Ooh, I'll go male first. I gotta go with Steph Curry. I have to go with I have to go with Giannis also. KD, sorry Maya. And 4, I mean MJ is a GOAT, so I gotta put MJ at 4. MJ is the GOAT, and for how good I'll put LeBron because of what he's done to the game, and for female.
Let me ask a quick question.
What's up?
Are you saying Curry is your favorite point guard of all time?
He won't, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. Favorite point guard of all time.
So the reason why he does what he's doing right now is because the reality is
He's not a
Steph
point
ain't a
guard.
point guard.
Well,
But
on a
that's
team
my
in a
business.
backcourt with Michael Jordan, Steph is a point guard.
That is true. See how easy that is? We just pass that on. Go ahead. Give me your women's now.
But women's, it's tough because there's so many good women's players in the league, but there's so many good ones in college.
That's true.
So can I do a mix?
You can do whatever you want. That's your list.
Okay.
It's yours. It's his list.
My number 1, I gotta go with Maya Moore.
Wrong. See, I knew you was gonna do that. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Alright, don't start that. Don't start that. Don't start
All
that.
right.
I gotta go with Juju Watkins,
Juju.
Paige Beckers,
Paige. Okay.
Paige Beckers,
Good call.
Asia Wilson,
Yeah.
and Candace Parker.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was gonna say some of the same people, so
Yeah.
it's kind of awkward. But Maya Moore, Candace Parker. I was also thinking about Juju, Giannis, and KD.
Nice. Nice.
Let me throw some names out there.
Yeah.
Throw some names out there and see if any of them kind of resonate or make you want to reconsider. Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Larry Bird,
Actually, I would, but no, I'm not going to.
Kobe.
Well, yes.
Yes.
I feel like he's also like the king. So like, you know what I mean? Like you can't like, he's just always there.
Well, LeBron is the king. Kobe's the Black Mamba.
Oh, well, yes, but Mama.
Oh, you got Mamba. Higher than LeBron.
Come on, a little
Yeah. All right. So look, that's first of all, it's a great list. A good mix of current, past players. Everybody's game is a little different.
Joker,
It's a good player as well.
Yeah, he's good too.
but not cracking your top
He's
five.
not in my top 5.
Okay.
Maybe top 10.
I love it. I love it. So listen, this show has been enlightening. It's been great.
Kiki Vandeweghe.
You stop, man. You can stop that, man. Who's next? Jalen Brunson? Who's next? Who's next? Knicks fan? Who's next?
My God.
Trent Tucker.
They don't even know who that is. They don't know who that is. This is the Fosters, man. This is when one crazy show, and they got a sister who we had on the show. She couldn't be here tonight, who's also a college athlete, and they have been tearing the college ranks up. We want to thank you guys for being on our show. Please check this episode out, but most important, stay winning. Ah!